It's time to turn the table on your opponents and learn the backhand slice. This is one of the most common shots that people want to learn. It's tough to return and it can be difficult to do, but I'm gonna break it down for you in this video. Okay, let's get started with a step-by-step guide on how to do the backhand slice. Gotta start with the footwork. Here's the cool thing though, the footwork is really easy. It's just gonna be 2 steps. So if I'm here like this, just like you usually would be, right? You're gonna take a step with your non-dominant and then a step over with your dominant. Notice what happened. Watch my logo on my shirt. Step, step. See how that works? So now you can see my logo. What this does is it opens up my body like this so that my arm can actually swing. A big mistake that people make with their backhands in general is they step like this and then they don't have any room because look, I can't get my paddle back, right? My chest is in the way. So we take a step and a step. Non-dominant, dominant. That's it. That's all you got to know. The swing. We're going to try to make this as easy and simple as possible. In general, here's how the swing works. You come up like this. If you don't want to hold it with 2 hands, you really don't have to. It's not that big of a deal. Come up, and your paddle is going to be as high as your head, basically. It's going to be head high here. And when you swing, you're going to swing down and across like this. And this downward motion is going to deflect the ball. Let me actually get a ball in my pocket. It's going to come down like this, and that's what puts spin on the ball. That motion down is what's going to put backspin on the ball. So let me just do it again here. Step, step, you come up, and then you're going to slice down and across your body.
So I'm going to draw some stuff on the screen here to help you understand what kind of spin you're actually getting on the ball. When you do a backhand slice, you're not exactly going to get perfect backspin. It's going to depend on the swing path. So you know how, remember how we talked about how the swing path is something like this, right? It kind of goes up, down, and then across your body. You're not always going to get perfect backspin. You're also going to get a little bit of side spin, but how much side spin you get is going to be dependent on where along this path you strike the ball. So look at it this way. So if we change the color here, if I were to impact the ball right here on a slice, and I'm going to draw a little bit before it and a little bit after, in general, the way the path is going is from right to left from your perspective, right? That means that the side spin is going to go that way. So the path of the paddle is what dictates what kind of spin you have. And so to take another example, if we look at this one up here, let me just delete some of these arrows just to make it easy for you. If we look at this arrow here, you see how the path generally is going down this way. That means the spin is going to go in the opposite direction. So you kind of have this back spinny, sort of side spinny kind of thing. A lot of your slices will be around this area, and you're going to get that kind of spin. I know this is a little blurry, so I apologize for that, but I want you to look at this clip here. So ball comes over, and I want you to notice where I hit the ball. It's around that same area that I just showed you, and I want you to watch the swing path. You see how the ball, from your perspective, goes to your right, but from my perspective, it goes to my left. That's the side spin. So if we just kind of watch it again, that's why it does that. That's why it does that path, is because I'm hitting it kind of out in front of me in that sort of diagonal position. So don't just think that your backhand slices are going to have perfect backspin on them. They're also going to have side spin, and to be honest, it's kind of more fun that way.
Now let's get into the specifics here. The first thing is you got to hinge your wrist. This is really, really important. So when you step over like this, you want to come up and hinge your wrist. Do you see how my arm is in a 90-degree angle? You can kind of see it like that. That's what you want. So my wrist is hinged. You don't want to do this. This is not going to do it. So you come up, hinge that wrist, create that 90-degree angle here, and you are not allowed to break any of these joints, okay? The wrist joint and the elbow joint are gonna stay exactly where they are. and it's all in the shoulder as you come down. Notice how nothing changes here. Let me show it to you from this angle, okay? You see that? See how nothing changes? There's no breaking. Now, once you hit the ball and you come out here, yeah, you can kind of flick things out, not a big deal, you know, but try not to break any of this stuff here before you hit the ball. So let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so did you see how that worked? Came up and then through, and I really went through it. Really, you have to be aggressive with this. You gotta really go for it, okay? Now, as you saw there, you saw the footwork was a little different, right? So you saw me kind of come back this way. That's going to happen, but notice how I still pointed my feet to the side to get that body open. That's super, super critical. And sometimes what will happen as well is, especially if you get one really high, you may end up kind of up here like this on your side. It doesn't matter. As long as your wrist is hinged and you're really coming down and across that ball, that is all that matters. So again, step 1, step 2, step 3, hinge, step 4, come all the way down and swing hard like this. And you want to end over here. That is the step-by-step guide on how to do a backhand slice.